Hey, what's up guys, it's ElasticSpyder here, and in today's video we are looking at some, I guess, lower tier gameplay from our usual tier 10 gameplay that we feature on the channel. It is the tier 8 Japanese, I guess, gunboat destroyer, the Akizuiki. So I'm playing the Akizuiki today, and then I'm joined by Shizuko. He is playing in his stock Baltimore from what he told me. So that should be an interesting experience. Now, we don't see this map, the map shards. We don't see this map very often on this channel anymore because it's a lot of tier 10 gameplay with ranked and randoms and clan battles and this and that, all tier 10. Sometimes we forget to actually go back down a tier. So you might, if you guys watch my stream or watch this stream, both on my Twitch channel, which link is in the description, as well as on this channel here, you'll probably be familiar with this game because I did play it on stream. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So this early charge through A is it's a bit precarious and a bit dangerous as well, but after looking at the enemy lineup, I see two Clevelands, a bit nervous about that, but the destroyers are the two things that I'm worried about, and a Farragut does not worry me at all. And an Akizuiki, again, I mean, yes, I do have to counter an Akizuiki, but maybe he doesn't take IFHE or something like that. So I get fortunate enough with a good spawn, and Akizuiki is just fast enough. I know it's pretty slow, but just fast enough in this situation to actually get into the cap pretty quickly here. So I send my first set of torpedoes and use my torpedo reload booster and send some more out. A bit random, but we'll see if those can pay off. So before I even get into it, let's go over my captain build. So I've got priority target, last stand, survivability expert, and then actually no, superintendent, excuse me, and then concealment, and then IFHE. Of course, you want to use IFHE on the Akizuiki, even though it does get quarter pen rule. The ability to pen 32mm plates is quite astounding, and it's quite impactful. We won't see too much 32mm plate penetrations in this game, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll make some use of it. So somehow this Cleveland has survived on 166 HP too long, and I finally finished him off to get rid of the radar. Now for my modules, as we're going into this game rather quickly here, I do run main armors modification 1, then if you have it, I believe you can run the speed boost on these lower tiers, or tier 8s. You should be able to. Then I've got AA range, then rudder shift, and then concealment. Obviously, I want to use the rudder shift just to get a little bit better, maneuverability. Since I do have a speed boost, I don't really need that added propulsion. I know the Akizuiki can be somewhat sluggish in times, but a lot of times I feel like the rudder shift is a little bit more critical to the survivability of the Akizuiki than actually the propulsion itself. So there, you kind of saw a little bit of the downside to the AA range mod, where most of my shells were just like not even hitting that destroyer at 5 kilometers. You know, especially in the rear guns. The rear guns would just split like I don't even know. I'm just thinking of something very, very bad to say, but I'm not going to say it. Either way, but they just spread out so quickly, and then also just bad dispersion. And I guess bad sigma as well, but we do land a nice torp hit on that Kitakaze. Now, Monarch looks like he's also going to take one. Yes, he will. No flooding there. That would have been very, very nice if we did get that flooding on that guy. So here, probably my almost only mistake in this match was using my torpedo reload booster there. I anticipated that Massachusetts making the turn in or turn around that island. Fortunately, he actually just beached, and it ended up not being very. It ended up being very wasteful use of a consumable that you don't get that many charges on, and you do have quite a significant cooldown on. So, had to be a little bit more cautious with that. But with my great rate of fire, I'm able to constantly keep fires on these battleships here. And yeah, so now we're just kind of skirting the edges, and pretty much the fight has been at A and C. No one's even attempted to go for B. The only one that has or is going is that Cleveland, and he's just turning in now. So this Bismarck, now we get to see some good power of the Akizuiki. Now, the Akizuiki, it's a great ship. I haven't played the ship in a very long time, but it's such a versatile ship that many people just completely underestimate its capabilities. One of those capabilities is being able to be both a torpedo boat and then also a gunboat. Now, the effectiveness of the torpedo boat is pretty lackluster, especially only having one torpedo tube, or torpedo launcher rather. However, having that reload booster does help quite a bit. So I can't seem to get good pens. I was hoping for, you know, solid over 2,000 damaging salvos there, but just couldn't quite find it. I was trying to aim at the upper armor belt, which is usually just thin enough for most destroyers and a lot of cruisers, pretty much all cruisers, to pen that consistently with AP at, you know, these close ranges. But I was not able to, and then I tried to switch to high explosive there, and then that also switched to the superstructure, and that really didn't work either. So maybe German battleships are just kind of wonky like that against this 100mm AP. Now, the 100mm AP is great against American battleships because they have nice, juicy 32mm plates, which is just wonderful, and even American cruisers for that fact too. So the one major downside to the Akizuiki is just its speed. When you don't have that speed boost running, well, going at 33 knots is just, it's not getting you anywhere quick, and that, I believe that is with the speed flag. So you really have to kind of pick your positions, play it more like a Colorado. I can't believe I'm saying that, but play like a Colorado. Anticipate where the fight's going to be and kind of position yourself accordingly. That's the best advice I could give for getting better at the Akizuiki. So here, you notice that I kind of, for the most part, stuck to the edges of the cap. Obviously, I went through the cap to get it, and then I stayed off the cap for a while. This was mainly because I didn't really want to, you know, fight those battleships head-on, or fight cruisers head-on. There's just no reason to. So here, we almost got the Cleveland kill. We're already 112k. It's not bad. It's a good game. There's still a lot of damage to farm though, and now we're going to be switching to this York, who again, I'm not getting very nice pens. I'm not getting very consistent pens. Had I maybe had accuracy module, then maybe I would have been doing a little bit better. I do like the more versatility with the AA range. Especially with these 100 mils, and you know, I only have a 14-point captain, but if you had maybe an 18-point or a 19-point, slapping on manual fire control for AA is a great choice for these 100 mils. They have great DPS, especially for the tier 10 or tier 9 and tier 10 Japanese gunboats that are coming out pretty soon. Those 100 mils just completely destroy any aircraft, especially with manual AA. It's surprising. It's kind of like a Minotaur, where the manual AA just you know, just that's the raw damage dealer for the AA. However, I understand that there's not many carriers in the game these days, so sometimes it's kind of a waste of a perk at times. Now again, here I anticipated the Monarch going around the island, but whatever, he didn't. Probably could have used my torpedo reload boost a little bit more effectively there, but that's okay because, you know, when I have a 3-second reload, it doesn't really matter, does it? So I'm just trying to get some fires in different locations on the ship, and then there we go. I got one on the Monarch's, I guess, frontal bow area, and now we got another one. So I'm going to actually switch. So one thing, once I got that first fire, I was going to switch anyway. The second one kind of was just an added bonus, but this is just pure damage farming at this point. That's probably the best way to increase your damage and things like destroyers and cruisers. As soon as you get a fire, switch to a different target and just keep tabs on that target that you set on fire, just to make sure that as soon as heat damage controls or maybe your fire goes out, that you reset that fire. So I managed to pick up a high caliber and then a Confederate right back to back, and it's quite nice. But we do have to get out of here because sooner or later the Prince Eugen's going to either torpedo us or hydro as well. So we get a fire on him, which is good. Now here I'm going to start to switch to AP, and this is where the Akizuiki starts to shine. 3K salvo. Not 3K salvo. 2K salvo. Not 2K salvo. So it's a lot of hit or miss, but like I said, if you aim at that upper armor belt, there we go, you can see the 2500 damage. That one wasn't as good, but it gets a little bit more consistent. There was another 2K, and that guy is actually dead. Didn't get the kill there on that guy, but that's okay. Could have been at 3 kills, but you know, we weren't quick enough. We didn't kill him quick enough. We didn't aim correctly on some of those shots, so I have to be careful with that. So at this point, it's pretty much game over. Bismarck, it's, you know, he's fighting a 2000 HP Monarch and a 900 health Akizuiki. Should be no big deal. 600 health Akizuiki, 2000 HP Monarch. The secondaries, he's not really shooting anything. Maybe he wants a double strike with his secondaries because he's a Bismarck and there's no other reason why he shouldn't. 1600 HP Monarch, and he's healing, he's healing, he's healing. Spider's coming in, trying to be that little annoying little guy, and we're going to start pelting that guy with some HE. 900 health, 100 health. Oh, so close. 1200 health. Oh, and we get the kill. And then here, I noticed the Akizuki's at 4.5 kilometers, so I put my guns right there, and I drill him in the bow to finish off the game with a double strike. So, boys and girls, that is how you get a 193,666 damage in the Akizuiki with nearly 500 shell hits, 12k XP, 500,000 credits, Confederate high caliber, and double strike. 3 kills. Could have had a crack into if we hurried ourselves up a little bit on that Prince Eugen and the Bismarck, I want to say, or maybe the tier 7 German cruiser that I can't remember the name right now, but we ended up with 11 fires and a solo base cap, as well as an assisted base cap and some 4 spotted ribbons, which is always nice. Team score wise, 27-28, not a bad score whatsoever. It's always nice going down to the low tiers, especially being top tier at tier 8 is always very nice. A lot of times tier 8s very commonly sit with the tier 10s, but it's nice to go back down, even though for the most part it was a lot of 8s and a lot of 7s and only just a handful of tier 6s in the match. Nonetheless, we managed 75k from high explosive, 30 from AP. Again, some of those salvos could have been better, and we had nearly a witherer, or 50k damage, 5/6 of the way there. Very, very close. Not a lot of potential damage shot our way. I guess no one was interested in shooting this streamer, which is a bit odd. Usually it's the other way around. But either way, it was a very nice game, and even at tier 8, premium account, and just a normal tier 8 ship, we're still making a good amount of credits, which is of course nice. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and I hope that you guys are excited for the new tier 9 and tier 10 Japanese gunboat destroyers, because I certainly am after playing the Akizuiki. I haven't played in a while, so it was nice to go back down. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day, guys, and I will see you guys later.